high school football from across the desert Southwest is here. Varsity Blitz starts right now.
Welcome to Week 6 of the Varsity Blitz. I'm Scott Gross. Along with us is Luis Lopez sitting in for Brendan Mejia. Luis, you go from covering the sidelines to the headlines this week. Glad to have you on board.
Well, thanks for having me, Scott. Really happy to be here. We kick off our show tonight with the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. The school returned to online learning for its entire student body yesterday after positive COVID tests surfaced. The school will stay online until October 18th.
Well, the volleyball team is in quarantine until September 27th. That's next week. However, the football program was given the green light because they play their games outside. Tonight, they welcome the Mojave Thunderbirds to town. It's the first meeting between the two teams since 2015. To Ricky Gwynn Stadium with the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks looking to stay undefeated at home against the Mojave Thunderbirds. Both teams 3-1 on the season. Opening drive, the Rocks will be at midfield. And watch junior quarterback Richard Stallworth. He's going to launch a deep pass to Mario Martinez. Martinez tripped up inside the 10. Pass interference is called. First down, Rocks. Later in the drive from the Mojave 18, Stallworth steps up in the pocket, finds Austin Rush, who goes up and gets it. He's in the end zone for the Shamrocks score. Extra point would be missed. Rocks up by a score of 6-0. Now the Shamrocks defense would have their work cut out for them against, trying to defend Mojave quarterback Jonathan Williams. He is a tank, 6'1", 250, and he plays middle linebacker. Late in the first half, Rocks up 12-0. Mojave inside the 20. Williams plows his way down to the 1-yard line. Again, it's Williams, but he's denied. Now the Rocks, Lorenzo Duran, Angel Felix, Desmond Esquivel, all shut the door. Turnover taken away by the Rocks. Rocks back on offense. It'll be Stallworth. He's going to launch to the near side and finds guess who? Williams again. No, it's Mario Martinez. At the end of the first half, Rocks up big. They go for 2. Rocks would go on to win this one big at home by a score of 42-0.
Well, we also got the Tigers and Hawks as Coach David Shaw. You can see him there in Imperial matching wits against Coach Jessica Slaughter and the Hawks in their season home opener. Hawks' first possession QB Leonardo Valencia rifles the ball over to Benjamin Hendershot, who was finally brought down by a pack of Tigers defenders, but the drive would stall quickly. Imperial's second drive of the night, running back Andrew Hendricks gets the call and moves and jukes his way for a nice 24-yard gain. Tigers getting deep into Hawk territory, but Ridge's defense would stiffen. QB Reese Vindola tries to connect with Francisco Lopez, but the ball is tipped right into the hands of Quincy Washington. Great concentration to get the epic interception there right off the tip drill. Ridge starts at their 1-yard line. Michael Galaz makes a few cuts inside the end zone and manages to escape the 10-yard line, giving the Hawks some breathing room, but the Tigers' defensive line makes a big statement here as Zach Gray stops Jacob Arcides in his tracks near the line of scrimmage. 2 plays later, Valencia is going to find Hendershot on the far side for an 11-yard first down play. That'll move the chains there. Very next play now, as you'll see here in a second, Valencia again using his arm throws a pretty slant to Brock Rogers, getting the Hawks another first down. Tigers would go on to win. They take this one 35-7. Coach Slaughter still looking for her first win as a head coach.
To Warren Field in Brawley, where the Wildcats mascot blushing with excitement as Brawley took the field, looking for their 4th straight win as they welcomed Fallbrook. Now down 7-0 first quarter, Ethan Gutierrez finds McKay Washington for a completion on the near side. Next, it'll be Gutierrez using his feet. Watch this. He's going to weave through traffic and get a huge first down for the Wildcats. He's going to dish out a little blow right here, a little kiss, a little flavor on the sideline. With under 4 minutes left in the first, again, it's going to be Gutierrez calling his own number. And watch this. He's going to go untouched, 35 yards for the score. Brawley down by a score of 7-6. They can tie it with the extra point. The Wildcats will line up for said extra point. Coming up, trust me, it's coming, and the extra point is good. We're tied at 7. Next offensive possession for the Wildcats. They would hold. They're going to be near midfield. And watch this. This is going to be the fullback, Tanner Carranza, off the left side, and the fullback is gone for a 50-yard score. Brawley takes the lead as time expires in the first quarter. They go on to win in overtime, 20-14.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the first half of Varsity Blitz. 3 games in the book, 2 more to go.
That's right, Louise. Highlights just ahead from Antelope and San Pasqual, plus an interview with Yuma High School head coach Bo Seibel. The Crims bowed out of their game last week against the Stray Foothills because of COVID. We'll check in to see how the Crims adapted ahead of their game next week against city rival Cibola.
Yeah, plus our out-of-town scoreboard and today's best plays. We're taking a water break. Stay right there. Varsity Blitz is just ahead.
You're watching Varsity Blitz on 13 on your side.
ACT now pays up to $16.50 per hour. Our centers offer a happy, healthy, and safe environment for our employees with COVID-19 protocols in place. ACT offers competitive pay, benefits, performance bonuses, and so much more. Call ACT today.
Back by popular demand. When you shop Furniture Row,
you pay what we pay.
That's right. For a limited time, our employee pricing is available to everyone. Get 15% off any single item when you spend $9.99 or more. That means you can save big on that perfect sofa, dining table, bed, or Denver Mattress brand mattress.
Our discount is your discount.
Plus 4 years, no interest, and free shipping. But hurry, employee pricing at Furniture Row ends Thursday.
Subway has so much new, they couldn't fit it in their last ad, so we're going to have to go fast. Ready? There's new steak, deli-style turkey, Belgioso, fresh mozzarella, hickory smoked bacon, new hearty multigrain, and Steph Curry juggling avocados for some reason. Dang, that's too much for 15 seconds.
She claimed to be a contractor.
How much money did you pay her in total?
About $25,000.
But he says she's a thief.
I found stolen property of mine. I changed the locks. She climbs under the house, into the basement, upstairs, pummeled me, grabbed my laptop, and ran away.
And her defense gets lost in the shuffle.
Stop playing with the papers. There are more papers there than in the Supreme Court.
Next, Judge Judy.
Adrenaline and lots of excitement. Only at the Yuma County Fair Fall Fest Demolition Derby. This year features 2 shows, so you don't miss this unique experience for the whole family. Saturday, October 16th and Wednesday, October 20th, with both shows at 7 p.m. So come one, come all to the Yuma County Fair Fall Fest Demolition Derby. Brought to you in part by AAA Action Plumbing of Yuma, Foothills Bank, and C&D Disposal. It's the Yuma County Fair Fall Fest Demolition Derby. Saturday, October 16th and Wednesday, October 20th. Don't miss it.
With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. We are Rotary. We are people of action. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
ACT now pays up to $16.50 per hour. Our centers offer a happy, healthy, and safe environment for our employees with COVID-19 protocols in place. ACT offers competitive pay, benefits, performance bonuses, and so much more. Call ACT today.
You're watching Varsity Blitz. The best highlights, the best plays, continuing right now.
You're watching Varsity Blitz on 13 on your side.
Thank you, Rod Woodson, Scott Gross, along with Luis Lopez. The Antelope Rams. Yeah, they have had one of the most exciting starts of the season of any team in the area, Luis.
Scott, we were both in Welton for the season opener as the Rams defense stepped up against Highland Prep. Last week, it was the Rams defense again with a huge defensive stand in a 38-36 win over Glendale Prep.
It's a 3-1 start for the season for Coach Malden's Rams. Tonight they played Parker, a game that was supposed to be in Parker but changed to Welton. So let's go there. Rounding out our highlight barrage, the Antelope Rams get an unexpected home game tonight. They welcome the undefeated Parker Broncs to Buckeye Field. The Broncs would get the ball first, but to the dismay of Jonathan Whitley, who starts it with a bang, Whitley picks up and puts down Parker's Thaddeus Nopa. But Parker would find other ways to get it done. This time it's a sweep outside to Anthony Taylor, who picks up the first down into Rams territory. And then on the very next play, it's going to be the third guy of the three-headed rushing attack for the Broncs, who finishes the delivery. Cameron Poole, through a giant hole, makes a 32-yard house call for the 4 points of the game. 2-point conversion good, 8-0 Broncs. Now on the Rams' first possession, it'll be Jonathan Whitley with a little flick to Martin Hernandez near the 30-yard line to Parker. And Hernandez lets everyone know it's a first down. A couple plays later, after a penalty to back them up, Whitley looking to sling it again, but gets flushed out of the pocket. But he has some legs, shakes a tackle, picks up another first down, but the Rams drive would stall on a 4th down. Parker quarterback Zachary Bennett lets it fly deep down the field, and just through the hands of Whitley. Yes. He would dive, incredible pick. He wishes he got that one back because Parker would continue the drive into the 2nd quarter, and that's Anthony Taylor stopping in for 6, puts the Broncs up 14-0. They would roll in this one. Antelope takes a tough 40-0 loss at home to fall to 3-2 on the year.
The San Pasqual Warriors on their homecoming night, trying for their first win of the season against San Carlos. All right, we go to the 2nd quarter now. After a San Carlos touchdown, the 2-point conversion attempt is denied thanks to a broken up pass attempt by Tony Gilmore. The Warriors, they're going to be down 4 points. Warriors on the next possession now. QB Damian Cota rolls out, dodges not just 1, but 2 defenders as he decides to take off and run with it. The play would wind up going 16 yards. San Pasqual, they're on the move. Next play from scrimmage. Cota, he is going to toss the ball away as he's being taken down. Johnny Takala makes the acrobatic grab for a minimal gain. Then it's backyard football time. As you can see here, Cota fakes out our own cameraman, rolls to his right, and launches this 40-yard pass to Jalen Bohannon as he's taken down at the 1-yard line. 2 plays later, Cota, he is going to call his own number, rolls to the left, and manages to get into the end zone before getting taken down. The Warriors taking a 14-12 lead here. The Warriors would fall at home tonight, 56-29.
Let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboards. What do we got here, Luis?
Well, as you can see here, Imperial defeating Gila Ridge in a big blowout, 35-7. Yuma Catholic taking down Mojave. Again, another blowout, as you can see there, 42-0. And you got to look at some of our other scores here. Calipatria taking down Claremont 21-12. Willow Cannon and Kofa. My goodness, look at that. 89 points on the board for Willow Cannon. Too bad there's not high school fantasy football out there that probably got some players that would have put up some points. Cibola and Westview 38-25. Cibola would take that one. And Parker shuts out Antelope by a score of 40-0.
It's time for our social shout-outs. Yeah. This week, a tip of the cap goes to Ethan Gutierrez. Yeah, we saw him running tonight. He did this a couple weeks ago, too. Leaps over the defender. Whoops-a-doo. And then he's going to come around the corner. This was against the bowling. He's going to pay for it. Pow! Isaac Rios with the shoulder. Yeah, a little shout-out for Isaac as well. Cibola also got a win tonight. That was not against them. Another one. The bull is loose. Yeah, Isaiah Young runs over the linebacker. Again, a couple weeks ago, we're not able to get this out. Then speeds his way into the end zone. It's now time for today's best. And speaking of today's best, and not only our top plays, Luis, but look at that. It's Marina Ruiz and the whole crew. You've got Omar, you've got George, everybody helping put this thing together.
Yeah, definitely. And, for being my first time here on Varsity Blitz, definitely needed a lot of help to get this thing put together, but definitely been happy with the way everything came out tonight. Really happy we could get this show done for you guys.
A big thanks to Wiley Jahari, who helped out today. He was in Brawley. Also, a big help goes out to Cole Johnson, Rob Fram, the whole team that is out there. Thank you so much for watching another episode